Hey guys, you're watching this one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Cargo Port. We started the boat, or we've been doing the boat over the last sort of couple of episodes. Today I think we can make a real big push. I did put a little bit of an anchor on. I've got a question to ask you though about these big cargo ships. Maybe you guys can answer it for me. I've got the anchor that goes down here. That stops the boat from floating away into the ocean somewhere while it's docked here. But how does it stop the back from sort of moving about? Surely if it's anchored at the front, the back's sort of still going to wiggle about a little bit while they're trying to take the crates off. Or do they actually have another anchor on the back that they drop to sort of secure the back from moving about at all? I don't know. I'm really not sure. I've never got close enough to one of these, and images on Google don't really sort of, whoops, I'm in the water, don't really show that. So it'll be interesting to know. Maybe you guys can let me know. Now, the bridge, I don't know exactly the word for it. I'm going to call it the bridge, you know, the control area where the ship is driven from, we'll say, is towards the back of the ship, but it's not right at the back because they have crates in front and crates behind as well. Only a few behind. There's not room for many behind, but there is. I suppose they want to utilize as much space on the boat as they can. So the bridge is actually very, very thin. It's usually white, so we're going to build it out of snow blocks. And it's usually very, very thin here, and it's just sort of squeezed in. On some ships, it's actually like only wide enough for like a little bit of a computer and a staircase to get up there. There's a few levels on them, but they're very, very thin. I didn't sort of realise that. I thought that they were quite sort of somewhat large. But no, they're like, if I do the base of it, what is that, like 5 blocks wide, and it's 1 block in from the end, we can go like 1 block wider maybe as we get higher up. Like as we get to one of the platforms, we can make it go a little bit wider, but strangely enough, it's actually very, very thin. So we're going to do something like that. Yeah, it looks so weird, but that is about right. And then what we want to do is we want to come up a certain number of blocks. We want to come up higher than what most of the containers are going to end up being. So if we come here and we say 1, 2, 3, that would be the height of 1 container. 1, 2, 3, that would be the height of 2. 1, 2, 3, that would be the height of 3. And I think for the size of the ship, that's about the maximum height we want to go. We could go to 4. 1, 2, 3, that would be 4 crates high. You know, that does look pretty good. I think that's probably the number that we're going to go for. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this comes higher than that point. And then what I want to do is I don't want to make it completely square. I don't want to just sort of go click, click, and then fill the whole thing up with snow blocks. There's usually some funky shapes on the backs of these sometimes, of like different layers. So we're going to come in like this. All the way. Was that too far? Yeah, like that. And then on a level down, we're going to do a similar sort of thing. There's no need to really count out the numbers here. And then come in like that. That one. That one. And I don't know exactly how high that goes. I think that's the right height. And then these front ones are the same height. So let's grab our wand. We can fill in like a couple of the sides now. Set snow block. Click. And click. Set snow block and click. Hello, giant hole sound. I remember that sound from so long ago. It's like pretty much never changed. That's a hello phone. It's pretty much never changed. I remember like way, way, way back whenever it didn't happen as often. It seems to happen a lot more often nowadays. But it used to happen really rarely when you were in a cave, and it would make that sound and you'd go, ooh, a big cave opening somewhere, and then you'd go in there and it's just like a little tiny water pool like under the surface somewhere, and you're like, oh come on, I thought it was going to open up to a big cave or something. Alright, so this is what we've got on the back here. Then we're going to get some planks. some slabs, sorry. And we're going to make like a little bit of a dock, or not a dock, a little bit of a platform. Like that, and like that. Stairs, we'll make these just 1 block wide. We'll sort of squeeze it up there. Okay, I like that. Now, the banister around the side is a little bit tricky because obviously we're on like a half block up, which means fences can't go directly on top. So we're going to have to go a little bit wider. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to grab this a block, because it's like a little bit more of a grey. It stands out a little bit more. And we're going to shoot this around the outside. There. And here. Grab some iron bars. Oops, I threw something on the ground. Like that. Have a doorway go in there somewhere. And in there somewhere. Now, I think you can't get to this staircase from the floor. You have to go inside the thing to get there. So we'll have a door here. I'm just doing them 2 by, or that one 2 by 3. I'm doing them all 3 blocks high for the moment. And we'll have another door on this side. All right, wonderful. Now, we want to have it go a little bit sort of larger around at this point. It's okay, I'm just dying. Around at this point, make it go a little bit larger. I think I'm going to keep it mostly flat on the top though, so let's just fill this in first. And that one. And then have a sort of rounder-ish look. Now, where's the middle point? That doesn't look like the middle point. There should be a middle point because the boat has a middle point. That looks about right. So if we come out from there, which is 4 blocks in from the end, and the same on this side. 4 blocks in from the edge. What we can do now is sort of make a little bit of a rounder look. Like that. So then the windscreen sort of pops out and around it, the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one. That one. I might do that one and that one then. Yeah. So it comes out around there, and then the back side doesn't really go any bigger. It just sort of has the same pattern but a little bit higher up. So if we add another block to this, we can then do the pattern on the other side like this. Oh, look at that, that fits perfectly. Ta-da! And then the windows go above here. I'm going to use a black stained clay. Panes. I'll grab both of them because we're working on a diagonal here, which means full blocks are probably going to work a little bit better. And if we come in there, there, not there, and then come back on this side, we get like a 360-degree view. We can put these ones up here. And then on the back side, you can either do it like that, and then you can see through, or if you prefer, some people like to do that so the windows are like more, what's the word? Like in the middle of the blocks. I don't know which one I really prefer. I think in this case, I probably like having more of a view, so I'm just going to put them on these ones and not fill up the sort of internal corners. And then on top of this is pretty much just white. Oh, apart from there is like a yellow thing that goes on top. I think instead of doing white, I'm going to do a nice sort of grey. It makes it stand out just a little bit more. And we shall do it 1 block wider as well. All the way around. I'm really excited to get the cranes down as well on here. Some of these don't actually have any cranes on them. Some cargo ships don't have any cranes on them, from what I've sort of researched and Googled. But the ones that I'm sort of looking at most of the time has actually 3 cranes. I think we could fit maybe 2. We might be able to fit 3 on it. I'm not 100% sure. I suppose it's to move the crates on the ship to a better position still on the ship, so something like that can then take it off. That way you're not maneuvering the boat too much, so the crane that's on the dock can pull off these containers. I can do it a little bit easier. Let's get the walls. And that one. And that one. That one. Oops. And that one. There we go. I think that helps. It sort of has that sort of overhang look. And maybe this part's poking out too much. Maybe we do that instead. Yeah. Okay. I like that. They have some windows in these points. I don't really know why, because most of the time they're covered up with crates anyway. But we'll put them in. What can we do? That's 2 blocks in from the end. Is this going to work out correctly? Yeah, 2 blocks in from the end. Perfect. And we shall do some down on this level as well. Just up to where we can, where the door then gets in the way. About there. And on the back side, can we fit any in? I might be able to fit a couple in. There. And maybe some up on this level. That's a little too high. That one. Like that. Alright, now to fill these in, 9515. Replace air with 9515. Okay, now that's the sort of tricky part out of the way now. I like to think. I think it's sort of pretty much smooth sailing. Get it? Huh? Smooth sailing from here to do the rest of the ship. Obviously, the containers are super, super easy. We need to get some yellow now. Yellow is going to go on top of this cabin. I think this is mostly aerials and stuff. Mostly aerials and stuff on here. My maths teacher used to always say that whenever, I don't really know why, to be honest, whenever the word aerial was said, was it a maths teacher or IT? It might have been IT teacher, because aerial's a font on the computer. And whenever it said, he always used to say it in, I don't know what the character's name is off The Little Mermaid, and it's that little red crab. And he goes, Ariel, whenever whenever Ariel's done something wrong. I haven't watched Little Mermaid in a long, long time. It's not exactly my casual watch program. I don't go onto it onto Netflix to watch The Little Mermaid all that often. I'm not saying I never do it. What's wrong with The Little Mermaid? But yeah, he used to always say that. And that was in high school as well. That he used to say that. He used to have a really, was it him? No, it must have been the maths teacher, because he had a really bad joke that probably most of you aren't going to understand. And my voice. He used to say, "What is the Little Mermaid's favorite? What is the Little Mermaid's favorite type of math, or something like that?" And he used to say algebra. It makes me laugh, but it's so not a funny joke, and some of you might not get it, but basically it's algebra is a form of or is like a way of doing maths using algebra, but an algae bra is obviously girls wear bras, don't they? And algae is like something it's a terrible joke. Why am I even explaining it? It's such a bad joke. It's whenever a joke needs explaining, it's not a joke. It's just a bad joke. That's all it is. All right, let's get some beacons on top of here. Oh no, I do have a question though. It's nothing to do with Ariel or the Little Mermaid or maths. Is that going to go off? I don't want it to go off. Good. It's not about the Little Mermaid or anything like that. But Christmas decorations. I want to ask about. Obviously, my house is all decorated. We usually decorate our house on the 1st of December is usually the date. Maybe sometimes it started a little before. I missed a block. A little before, like the 29th of November, 30th of November, that sort of time. That's looking really cool. but usually it's sort of to aim for the 1st of December. And we decorate downstairs fully, but then we very rarely decorate upstairs. Are you the same with that? I don't know, for as long as I can remember, since I was a little kid, downstairs was always nicely decorated with lights and tinsel and candles and ornaments, all the Christmas stuff that you never really care or see until at Christmas, and then you get them out of the box and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I remember when I was really young, I used to have, I need to go a lot higher than this, I used to have one set of Christmas lights in my room, and they all had Santa faces on them, and they were in my room over the top of my window. It was only, I don't know, 15 bulbs or something like that. It was a really short sort of rope of Christmas lights, and that was the only decoration that was upstairs, was this one strip of lights in my room. It sounds really sad when you think about it. It certainly wasn't, but because obviously downstairs, for us at least, is sort of the decoration area. But I was just wondering, I was thinking about it, because obviously this year was the same as last year. Obviously only downstairs was decorated. And I just thought to myself, I wonder if everyone is like this, or if it's just us. So, please let me know in the comment section. Do you decorate downstairs, or do you not? I'm going to use iron bars for this part, I think. We've done these diagonal things a bunch of times, cobblestone walls and clays and stuff like that. But we haven't used iron bars yet, so we might as well keep it different and add these in instead. Oh no, we're a little bit too short. Okay, I'll just make the yellow a little bit higher. I don't know what's wrong with my throat today. I think I got something caught in it, it feels like. So we want that one more. Two there. I don't know how the driver or pilot or whatever you want to call it for a ship actually sees. With all of the container ships and all of these things right up in the way. They just do, though. I don't really know why. Okay, there we go. So very simple. The cranes are just basically like that. We can add some detail. Well, not really detail. Just some sort of a couple of different colours on there. There's usually like a triple line of clay like this on one of the sides. I suppose it just adds a little bit of detail as well for us. Let's add some of those in. I call that the giraffe crane. Hey, it's a pretty good name, hey? The giraffe crane. And then we want like a little, I'm going to use red. I think red always signifies like moving parts. So we'll have like a little tiny miniature claw thing on the back here. I think I'll just leave it like that. I don't think I really want a claw on the bottom of it, do I? Well, that one had two. Maybe I should go with two. Like one here. It feels like it would be able to pick up a crate a little bit better if it had two. Yeah, like that. Okay, and then the picture that I'm looking at actually has three of these down the ship. 1, 2, 3. But I don't think we have quite the length, so I'm going to go with 2 instead. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away here anyway. I'm going to copy and paste that one over here so we get a second one. And then I'm going to put a load of crates in and see where we're looking. Obviously, we've all seen how we build the crates before. I'm just going to build a bunch of them, hopefully 4 blocks high, 4 crates high, and I shall be back. Alright, I'm just sort of adding in the last few. It's looking pretty cool on the map, right? Hey, hey, hey. And up here we'll have one there and one here. This is just how I've been doing it. I've sort of just been standing at the end of the block. It does mean that I have to break sometimes in order to get in there. But yeah, I just want to add a few more orange ones now, because the orange ones were the first one I put down. I sort of put them down in colours. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's too short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's one. I sort of put them down in colours. So I started off with white, then I put down orange, and then went through all the colours and sort of just placed them pretty much randomly. And now I'm sort of going around, and like one of these should probably not be white. So if I replace that with an orange one, I think that looks a little bit better. We shall have an orange one here. And that's how I've been doing it. And I as soon as I got through all the colours, I then came back round to white again, which I've just put down. I don't want to put one there. We can't have any in the middle. That's where the crane is. I'm trying to leave like some of them still like gaps. So we'll have one right there. So it doesn't look like a giant like collection of them. I want it to look like that some of it's been sort of unpacked already. Do you know what I mean? I want that sort of look. So like the one here, I'm going to leave blank. And I think we want one orange one over here somewhere. Yeah, this one. So then we just pop in there and then fill it up. There are some like awkward parts like that where you have to sort of hide in and sort of snuggle in somewhere in order to get it. But that looks pretty cool. So I went 3 blocks for the most part, and 4 blocks sort of as 1, 2, yeah, 3 blocks, sorry, for the most part, and 2 blocks as the sort of normal height. I know I said 4 blocks. I've got like 4 blocks high on the back, but I think that looks better in terms of like how high the cranes go and everything like that. I think that sort of makes more sense, and it seems to look good against the bridge area as well. So just to sort of finish off with some detail here, I'm going to put this around the edge. We'll put some iron bars on top of that as well. And then I think the cargo ship is pretty much done, which is so nice to see. Sort of another thing ticked off the checklist. And it also means that we're sort of getting close to this series being complete. We actually completed this, or have been completing this a lot faster than I expected. I actually had 2 episodes sort of laid out for this boat, putting the crates down, everything like that. But we've managed to squeeze it all into one episode. We just worked really quickly. I think while I was chatting about Christmas earlier on in the video, it made me focus, I think, and I could just sort of build away while chatting. So next episode will be somewhere else here, I suppose. I'll have to think of something else for us to sort of put together. But I'm very, very happy with this. I think this is the perfect little cargo ship. I know it's not a perfect replica of an actual cargo ship, but it works exactly how we want it to for Minecraft. It gives that like perfect impression. We know what it is. That looks a lot better now with the rails on there. So, if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. And we shall see you in the next episode.